Now we are going to head into some motivation, the bread and butter of this podcast, as I usually like to say. As you guys know, I am a huge believer that consistency will take you places that motivation cannot. I try to say that at least once every single week, whether it's on my YouTube channel, on Cameo, or in this podcast, because I truly do believe that, and I live my life by that. There are so many different things that contribute to success all over the world. A lot of the most successful people, and no matter what branch of success they have, whether it's business, whether it's technology, whether it's sports, whatever, medical or law, or, whatever the case may be in their success, even though they're in so many different industries from so many different walks of life, they actually all have certain aspects in common. And that's where I say a lot of the times that there are breadcrumbs to any sort of success that you personally want to achieve. It just matters how motivated you are, how consistent you are, and how hungry you are to go out and search for those breadcrumbs and eat it up. And embody it. Like I've said in previous weeks, whether or not you want to be a dentist with bad teeth, I personally want to live what I preach and be about it. So I'm definitely not a dentist with bad teeth. And so that's why I'm always telling you guys, consistency will take you places that motivation cannot. You only learn about 20% of what you need to be successful in school. The other 80% is out there in the world for you to go and find. And a lot of the most wealthy and most successful people, they didn't learn how to be that in school. They learned how to be that from other successful people. They learned how to make the system work for them because they understood that the world is not fair and you cannot guarantee fairness. And so today I want to talk about their two specific rules for success. There are many other rules, but I want to talk about these two specific rules that pretty much are involved in any sort of success you could possibly imagine for yourself or for your children or for your family. Okay, rule number 1, never give out all of the information. Rule number 2, refer back to rule number 1. That may sound weird, but it is so true. Last week we talked about who shook the jar. Who shook the jar? How did you end up in the jar, and who escalated the situation? We talked about taking accountability and understanding that not everyone riding with you is for you. You got to play things close to the chest, okay? If you want to do something that other people have not, then you have to be willing to do what they are not willing to do and learn what they are not willing to do, and then you got to find a different circle. Okay, that's a part of providing generational wealth and prosperity to the future of your DNA, the future of your bloodline, the future of your family, as well as for yourself and the little kid that you used to be. Okay, in order to break generational trauma and generational curses, we have to learn how to heal, but we also have to take accountability for the role we each played in our own suffering. And accountability is a lot of the times what's missing in our modern society. And one of the ways that we can hold ourselves accountable, but also break generational curses and generational trauma, so we can pass down generational wealth, wisdom, health, success, and prosperity, is by never giving out all of the information. And here's why. Privacy is power, okay? The less you share, the less people can ruin your business and have their nose all up in your business, okay? It's because what they don't know, they can't attack, they can't destroy, because they don't even know what's happening, okay? Once you start living your life with privacy and keeping certain information to yourself, you end up you slowly over time, you stop caring about other people's opinions about your life because you no longer need other people's external validation to validate you. And you'll end up, through that, you'll weed out people that were never really with you to begin with. They were just riding that wave with you. And by weeding out these people and finding a really good circle for yourself, you end up attracting peace into your life. You end up getting rid of, toxic energy and toxic drama. You aren't about that anymore. You don't have time for that anymore because you got a new circle and you're keeping things private. There's a difference between secrecy and privacy. Privacy, the right people know. Secrecy, nobody knows because it's a dirty little secret. Big difference. Okay. When you make moves in private, it's 10 times easier to walk that path alone as opposed to walking that path with all kinds of baggage of limiting beliefs and expectations of other people who are trying to tear you down to their level because they have no interest in building themselves up to your level. So it's so much easier to walk that path alone, that path to your goals, to your success, to your generational wealth and prosperity, to your goal of being the adult you needed as a child. Privacy, it hits different when you're going after those goals, okay? It just hits different. It teaches you this innate sense of independence so that you don't need that external validation that you see so many other people addicted to with social media and in person and so forth. Privacy teaches you a sense of control and consistency that a lot of other people lack, and that's the reason why they need that external validation. When you build in silence, in a sense, privately, people won't know what to attack, so they can't tear it down. They can't start, creating flaws in your foundation, okay? People want to know more about you when you talk less about yourself. It makes you more interesting, And no one will ever, when you start building in private, you'll end up not owing anybody an explanation for your life or your personal life choices because you're too busy building and you have no time to care about other people's critiques about what you're doing. And this is one of the best ways that you can get to where you want to go, no matter what direction you are going in as far as your success, health, and happiness are concerned. There is one person that deserves your absolute best, your 200+%. And that's the little kid that you used to be that's looking up to the adult that you are right now. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to go back to the two main rules of success. Number one, never give out all of the information. Number two, refer back to rule number one. Okay? If everyone is your friend, then nothing for you is private, and then you're a true friend of no one. And if everyone is your friend, then you have no true friends, okay? Think about that. Think about that. If you want to achieve what no one else in your circle has, what makes you think that your circle wants to see you achieve that? They don't. They're not going to tell you that, but they don't. And that's why keeping things private, not secret, private, not telling everybody all of the information, leaves people wondering. Just like we talked about last week, there's a lot of people that aren't checking in on you to see how you're doing. They're checking in on you to see what you're doing. But if they have no idea what you're doing because you're making your moves in silence, they have no idea what they can destroy. They have no idea what to say. They have no idea how to attack you or what you're doing because they have no idea what you're doing because you did not give out all of the information, okay? If you want to do something that everybody around you has not done, then remember to 2 weeks ago when we said some people have a vested interest in your silence. But what does that mean today? The vested interest that they have in your silence is only about bad things. If you're busy building something good, then your silence means more than their vested interest in your bad silence, okay? You have to be willing to learn and do what they are not willing to learn and do. And by doing so, you are going to go places that they will never go. And as long as you keep that close to your heart, instead of all over social media and all kinds of gossip to your friends, then they can't destroy that and you will achieve what they cannot. It's not your business to succeed for other people. It's your business to succeed for yourself, for your family, and your future family. And most importantly, to be the adult you needed as a child. What you guys are trying to do, I'm so proud of you. And remember, it's not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. How many ants did we put in that jar? We put 200 ants in that jar, and not a single one asked who shook the jar last week. So why would you trust your life's value, your life's goals, and your life's work to the people that couldn't even be bothered to ask who shook the jar? Why would you trust such personal goals and information to people that don't have your best interest at heart? The answer is, if you want what you truly say you want, then you wouldn't. And most of the most successful people that you know wouldn't either. So take a note from some of the most successful people in the world and follow 2 rules for success. Now, there's many other rules, believe me, and they are all important. But 2 rules that are almost above all others when it comes to success, health, and happiness is 1, never tell all of the information. Number 2, refer back to number 1. All right, everyone, this has been the latest episode of the Talks with Taeler Hendrix podcast with yours truly exclusively on russosbrand.com with Channel Attitude. Coming to you live with full episodes every single Tuesday as part of the brand family, and I'll see you next week.